Hey everyone, and welcome back to Farming Simulator. I'm just returning this mower from a job we just finished, a contract we just finished. Welcome to April. It's been a couple of months since the last episode, trying to build up the money so we can buy a harvester and stuff like that, while we wait for certain things to happen. For example, cars drive around the map through AI stuff. We have been doing a lot of contracts. This guy is a renter, tractor, and cultivator, and is getting through there. It's 54%. And then our hoeing guy, this guy, we might actually take control of this, is busy doing this field and doing it quite rapidly. The Dotsfar is able to drag this hoe around. What I've been doing is allocating one tractor per purpose. So this guy's been doing hoeing. The New Holland, the blue one we just saw, was doing a lot of mowing because it needs to be a little bit heavier because of that mowing is quite heavy. And we do have a new tractor. So last episode there was a tractor in the sale. Actually, we've jumped across to it. It is this guy. We have a beautiful Valtra Vamut. And I got it with narrow tires so we can use it for fertilizing, and I did use it to do one fertilizing contract. Hasn't been used too much. So now we have four. We have this guy, we have the white that's down there that's busy doing just the greenhouses like water and stuff like that. And as I said, this guy is our big heavy duty guy. He's been doing this big mower. Really could do with a weight. Next time we're at the shop, we should buy one. Let me jump across to here again and we'll finish this off. Actually, you know what? This is, I'm just going to press B. You can go work that out. It's still got a fair bit to do, like another 30-40%. And yeah, they'll get their job done. The reason we are in April is there has been a rude observation. So each month we have been getting all of our wood supplies, bringing it over here to the playground. And if you look in the bottom right corner, you can see that planks is at 90,000 and we've maxed this place out. So we've delivered 51,000 planks long and wood beams. So I think we may have a bit more there, but we tend to deliver 2 for every one of the bigger beam things. And so if we go in here now, unstrap everything and try to go here, unfortunately, no sales. So the usefulness of the playground is over. The good news is there is another kind of like a constructible place on the map, and that is the Grain Museum. And even better news is that's actually right next to where our house is. So let's run across there. Let's have a look on the map, and we'll actually drive it. We'll need to put a let me use the mouse, thank you. I need to put a waypoint on it. Is this it? Yep, this is it. Tag the place. So we need to go down the highway, and then it's just to the right of there. Yeah, so I hadn't thought about there being a limit, but in hindsight I should have known, because on Silver Run Forest, when you made the roller coaster, the same thing happened. It did max out about how much it was willing to take, and it's kind of obvious in hindsight that that was going to max out too. The semi-good news is we don't now have to go to the diagonal opposite side of the map to sell things at the highest rate. We can do the second best. I have a mod installed right here that shows us the best, and so we are looking at planks long, fuel stations, as you can see here. We were trying to use the playground, but it won't accept anymore, so the Grain Museum is the second best. So yeah, I love that time-saving clock mod, I guess what it is. So yeah, let's run over there and across the bridge and over to this dilapidated grain mill. I assume, yeah, I think the entrance is just past here. And in we go. Before we unload this, let's have a look around. So it says it wants wood beams and planks long. That's required for the next step. So once that's delivered, it will start fixing itself. The reason why the playground over there on the far side of the map is not happy is when I haven't delivered rope. So yeah, I think we can walk in here. Yeah, a bit of Bit of discovery. Yeah, let's call that. Oh, there's a downstairs. Interesting. The best safety device is a careful worker. There you go. Yeah, lots of cool little details. So yeah, at some point, if we deliver enough, that thing should come alive. It doesn't really give you an idea of what it's willing to take. But let's get this sold. So unstrap that and unstrap that. And we'll deliver our first planks to here. And so there you go. So what's that? 5 plus 7, about 13,000 bucks. Can't complain. And if we jump out, yeah, you can see we've delivered 5,000. Okay, so it wants wood beams, so and planks long. Yeah, so we can deliver everything here and maybe save ourselves some effort and not spend all of our time driving to the far side of the map. So where are we? I'm trying to work out where we are. Let's run back home. Home's not too far away. So yeah, interesting little change in our plans. The contracts have been all over the map, particularly we did hoe this field right here to our right. I think the hoes have definitely made their money back. I've been doing hoeing pretty constantly, and hoeing made $50,000 in hoeing, and the hoe was only about 20 or 30,000. So yeah, that was a good buy. Apart from, you know, we'll need it for our own fields anyway, but definitely has made a profit. I do like owning stuff, so that way we are getting as much profit as we can. The next thing we probably should buy is a cultivator. I know Dagwin has this cool flexi thing, he calls it. It does seem to be quite wide and quite fast, so I am tempted to do that myself. This area looks so different because all the trees have grown up. Looks, yeah, I like it. I think it's really coming along. There was a tree underneath where the truck is now. Because it grew one stage, I was able to cut it down, and that gave us access back to our driveway. But yeah, this is green, really bushy and fun. The furniture factory put down last time still hasn't produced anything. I put down a couple of trees ready for it to be consumed. So yeah, over here, so pieces that aren't too big. So it only holds 1,000 in tree, and so if we look at these, that's like 870 and 600. So at some point, those will get consumed. I did put a whole lot of, I don't think you can tell, yeah, but I put some planks and long planks into there as well. I think it's a serial type one, so I think the way it's working right now is it's round robining. So if we only gave it wood, I think risky. It's consuming it at a third the speed, rather than like 100% of the speed if it was only contains wood. But this thing is glacially slow, so it's been running for a month or so. We still haven't even got our first pallet. We're at 957, so we're very, very close. But yeah, we don't need to have a huge amount of furniture. And I don't really want to set this to distribute because I don't want that much to go over there. But we'll just slowly use the forklift to drive stuff over as we need it. And what else is going on? Yeah, the spinnery also hasn't made much progress. I delivered one more bale across, and if we look at that, it's got 357 materials are missing. Yeah, so we do need to bring over some more wool from these sheepies who are frolicking in the tall grass. And yeah, we might as well grab that and deliver it to keep the production going. And yeah, this probably have to make those tongs a little bit narrower. So the field in front of us, the grass was ready, so I did cut it, and then I just used our forage wagon there to pick up the grass. So the sheep are actually being fed by grass right now, and I had some hay left over, so it got dumped in the pile, which is why the pile is big again. So let's give this 800. This thing runs at 3:1. So if we look at the production menu, you can see that it takes, you see 9:3. So risky, we have to deliver 3,000 cotton to make 1,000 litres of fabric. So we do need to deliver a fair few bushels of wool to see that do anything. Since the money is really, really strong, I am tempted to put down the chickens sooner than later. And we only need about $200,000 for the harvester that we want to buy. So I'm actually going to do that right now. I thought I was going to delay it for a bit longer, but you know, the sooner we have them, the sooner they make money and they grow up and stuff. So the plan is, if I can hopefully squeeze it in here, the plan is to get that into there. Do I want the eggs to stick out the side? Well, the wool's sticking out the side, so I don't think it's a problem. And I think it would look nice for the fences to line up. So there we go. Do you want to customize the fence? Yes. So what I'm going to do is make it the same size as this. And there. And I assume... try and make it square. Can't have it wonky, can we? So about there. And there and there. Does that work? And done. So no. So why won't you... All right, let me cancel that. No, whatever. It will just be the default. That was weird. All right, let's get some chicken. So the plan is to have all the materials at this end, so you can have the wool there and the eggs will be here. And then down this end we should be able to deliver stuff. Let's get some chickens. I'm just going to do max 250. Oh, $1.5 grand, nothing. Do I want to... yeah, I don't care about them reproducing because, yeah, simple as that. And there we have it. We have lots of chickens in there. Look at that. Nice. All right, guys need some food. So what I'm going to do is just buy a bag of food. And I guess we're going to put it on a trailer. This gives us this opportunity to get this guy a weight at the same time. So we'll drop that off. And run over to the store. All right, let's get some chicken food bought. I assume it's a consumable. Is it consumable? We want lime, herbicide. Nope, it's none of those. So what would it be under? Forage harvesting, grassland, baling. This type of consumable. Veggie pallet? Nope. Potato pallet. That's all for planting. There's got to be food somewhere. Food, there we go. Animals, food. So we want chicken feed. So you get 1,000 for $1.5 grand, 1,000 for $1.5 grand. So it makes no difference. I'm going to get 4. Yeah. And hopefully I'm not going to regret that. Hopefully it means that we don't need the trailer while it's got stuff in it. I could dump it on the ground, but we don't have any way of scooping it up. So that would be a problem. Looks like one of our contracts is finished, so we may as well accept that money. I think that was all the hoeing stuff. And all loaded. I think 4,000 do. Oh, we can't forget to buy a weight. So weights are there. And I'm thinking something a bit heavier. I mean, this is a New Holland one, 1 ton. Fine. And it's got a pin on it, which means we can tow things normally as well. Let's buy one of those. So $1.5 grand. Not too bad. It's not going to break the bank. And let's get that onto the front here. Give ourselves some space. Yeah, this tractor has, as much as it's heavy and everything, if you put the mower on the front, it does lift the entire thing up, and you end up doing wheelies. So we will need that weight going forward. All right, let's get back to home and get some chickens fed. Run up the hill here. And back in here, and then we should be able to unload without too much trouble. Is it going to take all of it? It is. Good. That means we don't have to worry about that. So let's have a look at the numbers. It says 4,000. It doesn't really give us an idea of how much, what percentage that is. So okay, about half. So it takes about 9 or 10,000. Okay. When we have our crop, we will have wheat very soon, and we can start doing that. Awesome. So we now have chickens. We have fabric on the go. We have, obviously, the lambs are making the wool for all that. We have our furniture thing over there. Let's watch this cultivating contract finish off. And off it goes. And then we'll sleep and get into May. I'm going to take over here, I think. And if I get the right thing, there we go. Have the joy of finishing it off. Yeah, this leverage on this Stria is kind of cool. I do like the red and white stripe. It's got a nice color to it. There we go. And finished. All right. Let's jump into contracts, collect that, and I'm going to quickly just run around the map and get all of our tractors back home, and then we can sleep. And it's a new day, 441 in the bank now. Looks like our grass is also quite ready as well. Let's see if we have any eggs or anything else that's popped up. We'll squeeze through the gap. And yeah, we have our first eggs. A couple more wool pallets. Start the engine. And we'll get that into the spinnery. I'm going to take this partial one because we can. And if I get the right height. And try that again. And let's see if there's any fabric. I don't think there's enough material to generate a fabric pallet. I'm liking how this is turning out. I like it's compressed, but it has you know, rhyme and reason to it. The avenues of movement are pretty good. Yeah, I'm liking how this yard is turning out. Do I want to retexture those dirt patches? I probably do. We can actually do that right now. Got to make it look pretty, don't we? So construction down the bottom here. This one, and make this a bit bigger. And there we go. I think I might do, if I make it super big, I should be able to get behind there. I said this last episode. I am getting all the keystrokes back to front. My brain is trying, whenever I want to go left, it goes right and vice versa. Yeah. This is it again then. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Good progress. So, let's see how much wood product there is. We'll quickly load that up, sell it at the Grain Museum rather than at the playground, because there's not really that much effort, not that much reason to drive an additional amount of distance when we can't sell everything. Yeah, we'll just take everything on a truck. So let me get that loaded up. As I've been going backwards and forwards doing this, just notice how good the trees look. We planted nearly every tree we can see right now. It probably would be prudent to plant even more because we are going to run through the years quite fast, and I don't know how many of these trees we would go through in 1 year. So I think in the next 12 months it might be wise to do that. We have our first furniture Awesome, 1,000 litres turned up. We'll have to put that into our museum because the first one we keep as a memento. But how's this going? So it still has a couple of thousand in planks and long planks and wood. This wood's slowly feeding. Yeah, it's still feeding through, but it's a bit glacial. Let's get this strapped down, engine fired up, and we'll sell this and see where we are in May, and then we can move forward. So what I'm aware of is that June is the month where the barley becomes ready, which means there may be farms on the map near us that, actually let's do this right now, that may be very, very close to being ready. So if we go growth, we may be able to buy something. So what we want, actually this is fine. So we want kind of like a wheat field. So yeah, this 30, for example, right? And barley. So this is ours over here. So this 30 is in the realm of area. So base is here. It is in the realm of 124,000. So we probably can afford that because the harvest is 220. And so that's 340. Yeah, we can easily afford this, even with the header for the harvester. So it's very tempting to buy that before we lose it. So that's wheat, which definitely adds to our. I'm just going to buy it now before we lose it, because we are. If you look at the calendar, we're right here in May, and the harvest season starts in June for barley, and it's still for wheat is July. Was there a one that was near home that was barley? So this is 26. How much are you? 140. But yeah. And then this one's grass. Yeah. And then this is next door to us, but it has all this extra field. And so it makes it not as profitable as you really want. And then I think this stuff over here is not really stuff we want to be playing with. Yeah, that's carrots. That's not going to do us any good. Green beans, harvester is too expensive. Sorghum's plausible, so that's another one that we could have maybe got. But I'm glad we got that. I think that's not too far from home, and that's doable. All right, let's make some money with these, and before we know it, we'll be back up to the 400 and something point anyway. I vaguely recall where this is, so I went a slightly different way here. Oh, don't tip. Past all these beautiful water assets. And then it's down here on the left, next to the train line. Man, this world changes the way it looks. Ugh, these cars just cut out on you. The seasons in 25, they really have different vibes. It is very, very impressive how diverse and different the land looks. I've been tempted to go back to 22 just to see the difference, because I've kind of forgotten what it was like, and it's a good way of appreciating what we've got now. All right, let's get some beams and stuff into here. Unstrap that and unstrap that. And I assume it says required materials for next step. It was 6,000 more wood beams, and we've delivered 3,000. And okay, so it wants 6,000, and we just put 2 3s into it. So that will tick down as it consumes them. Whoops, didn't mean to turn the engine off. Or maybe you have to deliver 6,000, then it just pops. But either way, it still wants more, so it's got another month's worth of deliveries before it makes progress. It's going to be cool to see these things migrate or progress back to whatever they're going towards. And home again. We'll park this up here and rinse, repeat. Do another day's worth of progress. See if I can get my backing right. Ugh, that was terrible. Yeah, I think I might use a flattening gun and make this area a little bit more flat. I mean, I can do U-turns. It just is a little bit tight right now. It would be nice to be able to just pull in, just do a U-turn right here, like cut this area down here. You know what? I'm going to do that right now. Let's just make that a little bit flatter. So where are we? So this part here, yeah, I'm struggling to get the camera to do what I want it to do. Let's increase the strength, and then we're just going to drag that out there. And I think if we just use the smoothing gun, that should do it. Did I cause a weird thing then? I think that's pretty good. It's still a bit high in the air. Yeah, let's do that. So see, there's a thing there. I'm wondering if that's because there is a tree in the ground there. And actually I want to smooth out over here a bit more too, because when I'm coming in here with a trailer at the moment, it's a bit up and down, up and down. All right. Yeah, normally these things are caused by there being a tree in the ground, so that's kind of annoying. But you know, that's a little bit more space. We can get a U-turn going, and yeah, we should get this over to the museum. That can be done later. What else we need to do? Let me show you how I finished the day with watering. This guy is at the end of the thing. I got rid of the other water tank it was next to that blue maintenance vehicle because I don't need it. Because what I found is if I go down the middle of these, the reach of the tanker actually is both. So you know, we can kind of, it's hard to tell or see how it's obvious, but it's, you know, quite a wide reach. So you can see how that one's good, and then it's still trying to empty it. And so if I just slowly drive forward, now the one on the left's taking it, and then when it gets empty like that, there's no one. So then the last 38 we take him, and then this greenhouse gap here is a little bit wider than the rest, so it's actually quite easy to do a U-turn through there, go around, hit the fill button thing, and then let's go down this over and over again. I think it takes 4 stripes, I want to say, and yeah, it works quite well. So yeah, if you put the greenhouses head to head like this, give yourself a little bit of space, and then start the unloading, and then it'll take 1 or 2 liters on each one as they've consumed a tiny amount. So this one's going to use maybe 1 or 2,000. They use about, I think it's about 3,000 a day, maybe a bit more, maybe 4. So you can get about 1 and a bit greenhouses done each time. Okay, that one was pretty full. So I got a feeling with that one, I'm actually doing the left and the right at the same time. Yeah, but this gap in here is really working out well. It's wide enough to pull that off. So I am holding off on applying a mod that lets you put water on greenhouses, so we wouldn't even have to do this, because this is still plausible. It hasn't been too much of a problem. When we get the massive semi-trailer based tanker, it'll make it even easier. Start the unload, and then they'll take 1 or 2 liters each as you pass them. The one on the left here, you're taking some. I think maybe even the right one. Yeah, that's the left one probably, then the right one. Yep. Yeah, and it works quite well. So it's not too onerous to go through here. And all these 7 are making about 20 grand a day. So nothing to complain about. Yes, it was 7 times 36, so it was a $200,000 cost to put them down, but they'll all pay for themselves within about a year or so with the amount that they're generating, and yeah, it'll be a nice little profit thing. So yeah, so I think it's 4 laps and it's done for the day. So that's why I'm leaving this tractor on this thing, just to remind myself that's needs to get done every day. They can last a while. They have 40,000 and they're only using like 4,000 or 5,000 per day, so they could last good 6 months if I wanted. The good thing about doing it every day is it doesn't become so onerous. It's I mean, it's the same amount of effort overall, but it doesn't get so boring that you go, I don't want to do 20 laps. So yeah, it works out quite well. Last thing we should do is check that the sheep have food. I'm pretty sure they do. But yeah, this is not too bad, is it? So it's a plausible, not plausible, it's just a pleasant little exercise for a couple minutes. And then I don't think we're going to have enough to finish off this last one. We'll have to do one more lap. Yeah, have to do one more lap. Having this hay pile at the end is good because it reminds me that you need to feed things. Actually, I wonder if the chickens have gone through that 4,000 or not. I don't think I'm going to bother buying any more. We'll just take it off the field, off the barley field, which will come out of the ground next month. We can just feed it through our own supplies. Talking of which, we're going to have to put a silo somewhere. Yeah, so next month we'll have more greenhouse money and wood money. So that does mean we should have another $60,000 or $70,000. So I think, the cost of the harvester and the head should leave us with 100 or so thousand. Plus the money we'll make overnight. We should have about 150,000, and I think that's enough to pay for a silo. So we should be okay. And that's that done. I try to have a good habit of leaving this full, so we'll leave that there, filling up. And I think we'll just use this tractor to quickly couple onto that forage wagon and make sure that these guys have food. I am 99% sure that they could last another month. But we may as well. Yeah, I can see that their troughs are pretty full. In fact, if you look at the menu for the meadow itself, the meadow itself has got plenty in it, so the actual ground itself. But we can drop a little bit of this out. Why don't you want to attach? And empty that out onto the thing. And we'll just fill them up. Yep, we still got... Okay, 779. Okay. That's actually good because we might want to use that forage wagon to help pick up some of the straw in the next month. I was saying that, probably won't. We'll probably just use the baler. And there we go. That's another month. And rinse, repeat. At this point, I would normally, if I have personal time, I will look at the contracts. Out of interest, is there any contracts that are interesting? Yeah, there's some hoeing. So I'm actually going to do this right now. I'm going to accept them so before they disappear. And weeding and fertilizing. Yeah, these fertilizing ones are cheap to do as well. And then, then we would do sleeping and go next episode. And that's what's going to happen. So I am going to say goodbye. I'm going to find my hoeing guy. There it is over there, the Deutz-Fahr. And we'll say goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe to see more of this content. And next month, we will be in June. We will be buying a harvester and we'll be doing our first personal harvest, which should be lots and lots of fun. So why can't I see where those harvest contracts were? Where are we going to? 40 and 50. Oh, actually, 50 is really easy. That's right next to home. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in Farming Simulator 2025 and the Everything Challenge. See you, everybody.